So they're live and being judged by you. Team Tom and Team Will step into the spotlight tonight. Now on BBC One, the big news from Final Score.
United 0. Trying to avoid relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters. The latest score is Wimbledon. Go through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears, we all remember. Wanderers to a crucial week.
Hello, welcome to Final Score as the season hurtles towards its climax. Garth is still recovering from the draw for the Olympic football tournament, so with me in the studio are Dion Dublin and Matt Holland. It really hurt his head. It's been an astonishing afternoon. We'll come to all the scores in a moment, but this lunchtime saw the end of the regular championship season. One promotion spot was still up for grabs, and it was claimed, much to the delight of thousands of Southampton fans at St Mary's. They beat Coventry by 4-0, which means they return to the top flight for next season. Themselves and Reading are automatically promoted, and it took those players a very, very long time to get off the field at St Mary's. The final playoff place was between Cardiff and Middlesbrough, and it went to Malky Mackay's side thanks to a 2-1 win at Crystal Palace. That fantastic volley by Don Cowie means that they are into the playoffs at Middlesbrough's expense. And let's just confirm the top, so automatically promoted are Reading and Southampton. The playoffs will see Cardiff take on West Ham, Blackpool take on Birmingham. The final, Saturday, May the 19th. It has been an astonishing afternoon in the Barclays Premier League. Look how many goals are around. Everton are cruising to victory at Goodison. They're 4-0 up on Fulham. Nikica Jelavic has netted twice. That's 10 goals for him since he joined the club in January. All square at the Britannia. Stoke 1, Arsenal 1. Peter Crouch's header cancelled out by Robin van Persie's 35th of the season. It's Sunderland 2, Bolton 2. Kevin Davis has got both for Owen Coyle's side. Nicholas Bentner and James McLean for the home team. Swansea 4, Wolves 4. Swansea's Andrea Orlandi scored after just 22 seconds. Brendan Rodgers' men 3-0 up at 1 point, but relegated Wolves have shown some real spirit to get back into this. Matt Jarvis with the fourth there to pull them level. No goals yet at the Hawthorns, but the home side should really have had a penalty. Alan Hutton very lucky to escape handball in the area. And Wigan are thumping Newcastle. 2 goals from Victor Moses will be a huge boost to their survival hopes, but a real dent to Newcastle's Champions League ambitions. We could go anywhere given the amount of stuff that's gone on this afternoon, but let's start with the 8-goal thriller at the Liberty Stadium. I bet you didn't think I'd be saying that at the start, Jason Mohammed.
Not at all, Mark. The quickest goal of the Premier League season, some great finishing, some shocking defending, a possible sending off, the ball hitting the post, and Wolves fans leaving after just 31 minutes, all in front of Sir Alex Ferguson, who's in Wales to prepare for the Crunch Manchester derby on Monday night. At 4-1 down, Wolves already relegated, Mark, looked as if they were already on the beach. Matt Jarvis and David Edwards' goals have finally given those Wolves fans something to cheer about in what has been one of the games of the season. The lesson here, never leave a Premier League match early. Swansea City 4, Wolverhampton Wanderers 4.
Johan Arkin has scored for Hereford. That's his second of the afternoon. It gives him 9 for the season. They're 3-0 up at Crawley. Barnet are 2-0 up at home to AFC Wimbledon. At the same time as all that was going on, Burton Albion scored at Macclesfield. So Macclesfield will be relegated this afternoon. Hereford will live on for one more week. They'll be 2 points behind Barnet with 1 game to go at the bottom of League Two. And Darren Pearce, the former Birmingham centre-half, has equalised for Plymouth at Morecambe Rotherham also in League Two. But Plymouth, after all their problems this season, are safe and will be in that division for another season. Back to the Premier League, where Wigan are fighting for their Premier League survival, and what a fight it is. Damien Johnson.
Absolutely extraordinary game here as well, Chappers. Wigan on course for a famous victory that would very much go close to assuring Premier League survival. 2 goals from Victor Moses, 1 from Sean Maloney, and an absolute perler from Franco Di Santo have set them on their way. Di Santo dispatched his effort with minimum backlift after a lovely approach work from Wigan. 4-0 up at half-time. James McCarthy could have gone for a 2-footed challenge in that first half. Moses could have had a hat-trick. His effort saved by Tim Krul in the Newcastle goal. The visitors have rallied after the break. Cisse hit the bar with a shot, hit the post with a header. You can't take your eyes off the pitch, but Wigan on course for a famous victory. A real dent, though, to Newcastle's European ambitions.
8 for Henrik Ajama for the season. Motherwell now 4-1 up on St Johnstone. Kilmarnock, the League Cup winners in Scotland, have turned it round against Inverness. They were 2-1 down at one stage, so now 3-2 up, thanks to Dean Shields' 13th of the season. Peterhead have slim playoff hopes in Scottish League Division 3. They're 3-0 up on Annan, and in Division 1 it's Ayr 2, Dundee 2. And that's the same score at the Stadium of Light. Nervy times for both Sunderland and Bolton. Steve Sutton.
Yes, more nervy for Bolton, Mark. Bolton took the lead midway through the first half with a goal from that old warrior Kevin Davis after a great Petrov cross. They were the only team in it up to that point. Then Sunderland equalised through Nicholas Bentner, and what a galvanising effect that had on the Sunderland team. McLean rifled in a free kick in the second half to give Sunderland a 2-1 lead, but Kevin Davis with his second has given Bolton renewed hope. 5 minutes left plus added on time. A difficult one to call this. 2-2.
Wigan are winning, Bolton are drawing, both of them picking up points. That's not good for Aston Villa, who are at West Brom. Andrew James.
Yeah, it's a hugely passionate local derby. It's 0-0, Mark, but really it's been all West Brom so far in this game, and they should have had the chance at least of taking the lead. Referee Mark Clattenburg denying them a clear penalty for some beach volleyball from Alan Hutton on the goal line for Aston Villa, turning a header from Liam Ridgewell around the post. It's West Brom 0, Villa 0.
Let's see what all those scores are doing to the bottom of the Barclays Premier League. Blackburn don't play until tomorrow. They're at Spurs. Same for QPR, who are at Chelsea. Bolton could do with more than a point to get themselves out of the bottom 3. But how good does that look if you are a Wigan fan this evening? Out of the bottom 3, level on points with Aston Villa. And all of a sudden, that goal difference is improving with a 4-0 scoreline against Newcastle. Only 4 worse off than QPR, and better now than both Bolton and Blackburn. To the Britannia Stadium next. 2 early goals for Ivan Gaskell, and not much since in the game between Stoke and Arsenal.
Yes, I might just offer you a little oasis of calm compared to what's happening elsewhere, the sort of eye of the Premier League storm, although I have to say it's absolutely freezing here at the Britannia Stadium, though it always is. 3 minutes to go, 1-1. Peter Crouch, 10 minutes in, well-taken header. Van Persie, 5 minutes later, well-taken volley. Arsenal with the lion's share of possession and chances. They haven't converted any more, though Benny Youn, under challenge from Whelan, went down a short time ago in the penalty area. It looked a clear pen, it wasn't given, so we're still 1-1.
Look at that, Colchester 1 in 11, but Freddie Sears from West Ham is Colchester 4, Tranmere 2. Bristol Rovers unbeaten at home since Mark McGee took over in January 2012. Now 4-1 up on Accrington Stanley, and Dean Shields, second of the afternoon, 14 overall this season. Looks like Kilmarnock have secured the points against Inverness, Caledonia and Thistle. Back to the Premier League, been a very impressive Everton side this afternoon. They've scored 4 for the second match in succession, but this time, Richard Askham, they haven't conceded.
Yes, without reply, Chappers. It's been so easy for Everton against the Fulham side well below par. Fulham's manager Martin Jol hasn't travelled today due to a chest infection, and he might be pleased he hasn't. The home side were 3-0 up at the break. Nikita Jelavic with a couple, the first from the spot, the second from a tight angle after a lovely through ball from Stephen Pienaar, who's been excellent. Pienaar also made the 4th for Everton. For Tim Cahill, a lovely dink ball. The other goal for Everton came from a Marouane Fellaini header from a corner. It really has been all Everton. We've just seen it. Mark Schwarzer turn away a terrific drive from Leon Osman, and that's all that the home side, the home crowd, are missing. A goal for Osman on his 300th appearance for the club. All Everton, and they lead by 4-0.
9 for the season for Henrik Germano, second in the space of a few minutes. Motherwell 5 up on St Johnstone. Rochdale have pulled one back against MK Dons. Akpro's 7th of the season there. Looks like Barnes have secured the points at home to AFC Wimbledon through Ben May. We said, didn't we, Matt, that West Brom should have had a penalty for Alan Hutton's handball. I just think Jonas Olsson has saved with his hand as well in the West Brom penalty area.
Well, I haven't seen it. I mean, there was about 4 players on the floor. It was a shot that came in. I didn't see the incident itself. I just saw it get cleared away. But, I mean, today has just been an absolutely incredible day in the Barclays Premier League. It really has. I mean, Wolves, dead and buried, 4-1 down, were inept, to say the very least, in the first half an hour. But since then, they've really had a go at Swansea, 4-all. What a terrific day.
It's been great. And, you know, you've got to tip you. I've just notes here, Jarvis, Edwards, Doyle, Fletcher, people like that have stood up and counted today and played incredibly well for Wolves and for the manager.
But we could be at a stage, we're going to go get the 3 points against Newcastle. If Bolton score against Sunderland, I mean, we could be in one of these situations again where a lot of the teams at the bottom all on the same day pick up the points.
And you mentioned goal difference being important, certainly for Wigan today. That first half performance was outstanding. Victor Moses in particular, his second goal, he took really well. And Di Santo's goal, wait till you see that on Match of the Day tonight. What a finish.
Yeah, 10:30 tonight, Match of the Day on BBC One. So Southampton will be in the Premier League next season. They beat Coventry by 4-0 earlier. Let's take a look at the goals in the company of Simon Brotherton.
Good play by Jose Fonte. Look at the central defender go here. Fonte's still going. Now it's to Prado. Lallana with a shot. Southampton have the breakthrough. Coventry City have had the better of the opening quarter of an hour, but Southampton it is who get their noses in front. And the diving header makes it 2! Jose Fonte! Oh, they're almost there now! Fonte lifts the roof at St Mary's. 2 goals in less than 3 minutes. Back-to-back promotions now on the horizon. Here comes the kick. That was De Prado with the touch. Sharp. Oh, and it's in! 3-0 Southampton. And there's no coming back for Coventry City now. Here comes Southampton again. Lambert's underneath this one. Billy Sharp. Oh, yes, it's 4. It's Adam Lallana. Southampton are going up. The Saints are marching into the Premier League. Southampton are promoted. There was no stopping them today. They delivered when it mattered in that final game. 4 good goals, no reply from Coventry City. The party starts now, and the Saints go marching into the Premier League.
What does it mean to you? What does it mean to the club, to the players, to the fans?
A lot of people put a lot of hard work in. And for the players who are trying to get off the pitch now, because they're mobbed out there by fantastic supporters, they deserve all the plaudits they get, because they've been magnificent since I joined this football club. They work so hard every day, so professional, and the coaching staff have got, the medical staff, the sports staff, everybody at this football club wear their socks off.
To get into the Premiership with a 4-0 win, convincing over Coventry, it's outstanding, yeah, and so proud of the lads. We've worked hard all season, and the last 2 years especially, with promotion, this back-to-back promotion, it's something to be really proud of.
It's just gone off the video printer. Swindon 5 up on Port Vale. Now, Alan Connell is their top scorer. It's his 11th of the season, 13 overall. They are going to win the League 2 title this afternoon, are Swindon. Meanwhile, at the Hawthorns, Shay Given has kept Aston Villa in it. Andrew James.
Save of the season, really, without any doubt at all from Shay Given, denying Odin Wingy. Looked like he'd scored as the ball came across to the far post. Somehow, Shay Given just got right down towards that near post and with an outstretched boot managed to keep it out of goal. No appeals that it had crossed the line from the Albion players, to be fair, but it was that close. 0-0 still, Mark.
And we will go to the Moss Rose next. As you can see on the video printer, Macclesfield's league season is over. They'll be in the conference next year. Alan Biggs.
Yes, after 15 years in the Football League, they trail 2-0 to Burton. Jacques Magoma with the opening goal, a simple side foot, and now the final nail in Macclesfield's coffin, hammered in by Calvin Zola. They had to win today to stand a chance of staying up. It's to their credit, though, that they've actually survived in the Football League since 1997. That is full-time. Macclesfield Town are relegated. 50,000 people will be drowning their sorrows in this Cheshire town tonight. Macclesfield 0, Burton Albion 2. Macclesfield Town are out of the Football League.
Final whistle starting to be blown around the country. Let's go to the Hawthorns, where it has already been blown. A big sigh of relief for Alex McLeish, and he has this man to thank. Shay Given for a fantastic save, Andrew James.
Right at the death mark, that goal line clearance from Shay Given. He's also got Mark Clattenburg to thank, who denied West Bromwich Albion a clear-cut penalty for handball against Alan Hutton. It was Albion who had most of the game, but Villa survived and they've got a precious point, 0-0.
What an important goal. That could be at the bottom of League One as well. Daly Adebola equalising for Notts County in the last minute at Wickham. We'll tell you what that means shortly. The final whistle gone at the Britannia. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, Arsenal have lost 3 of the last 4 visits to the Britannia Stadium, so this is a step in the right direction. A 1-1 draw. It was really difficult to call, a really tight game, not pretty on the eye. Crouch with the first goal after 10 minutes, put Stoke ahead with his own head. Van Persie 5 minutes later with a volley. Nip and tuck after that. Arsenal with marginally the more of the possession and chances. They didn't convert any further though. 1 apiece here.
Dion's just explained to me that it's very difficult to put somebody ahead with somebody else's head. Right, Richard Askham at Goodison. What a performance by Everton.
Yes, it was. This was as one-sided as it gets in the Premier League. Everton with all the urgency, all the desire and all the goals. Nikita Jelavic, a rampaging presence throughout with a couple of them. One from the spot, another from a tight angle, either side of a Marouane Fellaini header from a corner, before Tim Cahill on as a second-half substitute put the seal on it with a lovely fourth made by the excellent Stephen Pienaar.
Thank you very much. Barnet 4, AFC Wimbledon 0, but it's going to go to the final day of the season for whether either they or Hereford are relegated along with Macclesfield to the Blue Square Bet Premier. The Stadium of Light is finished all square. Steve Sutton.
Yes, it has. All Bolton for the opening quarter of the game. No surprise, they took the lead. Martin Petrov cross and a beautiful side foot volley by Kevin Davis. Jack Colbeck threaded an inch-perfect ball between 2 Bolton defenders for Bentner to equalise. That spurred Sunderland on. James McLean's free kick in the second half hammered into the root of the net, gave Sunderland the lead, but Kevin Davis's header made it all square. 1 point for Bolton, not the end of the world, because they have that game in hand. Sunderland 2, Bolton 2.
The final whistle has now gone at the Liberty Stadium. Everybody can draw breath. What a game, Jason Mohammed.
Absolutely, Mark. Brendan Rodgers' team needed just a point to be mathematically safe in the Premier League, but on 31 minutes when Danny Graham made it 4-1, he must have been purring. They were simply terrific, passing the ball and finishing with style. Then a quite superb comeback from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Terry Connor's team may be down, they may be playing championship football next season, but they've given the Premier League one of the most memorable games of the season. A quite remarkable comeback with goals from Matt Jarvis and also from David Edwards. They could have won it, in fact, but so could have Swansea City. Terrific entertainment. Swansea City 4, Wolverhampton Wanderers 4.
And next to a place full of joy and against Sheffield Wednesday. This could affect Sheffield United, who kick off in the tea time game against Stevenage. Jackie Oatley.
It was a must-win game for both sides, and Sheffield Wednesday have won it. But oh my goodness, how nerve-wracking. Brentford won, Sheffield Wednesday it 2. It finished a pulsating match. Brentford with the better chances overall, but Sheffield Wednesday took theirs. Keith Tracy with a near-post free kick in the first half put the 1-0 up. Clayton Donaldson equalised from the penalty spot after he'd been fouled by Beavers, who should have been sent off for a second yellow, but the referee got that one wrong. And then Miguel Lera, the centre-half, with a flicked header to win it for Sheffield Wednesday, who move above Sheffield United, pending their match later on. Brentford's playoff chances are over. Brentford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Well, as you can see, Chesterfield have been relegated after losing 3-2 at Yeovil, and it's just gone through on the video printer. A massive goal at Adams Park, which could relegate Wycombe as well. Tony Lockwood.
Scored by Alan Judge, a magnificent effort, his second of the game. Incident-packed Wycombe led 3 times. Notts County with playoff aspirations, really needing to win, came 3 times back into this encounter and then deep into this game. 90 minutes up, it was Judge that struck from distance, and it could be the goal that sends Wycombe down. Wycombe 3, Notts County 4.
Leyton Orient fans, Walsall fans, breathe a sigh of relief, because if that stays that way, you are safe and Wycombe are down. It also went through on the video printer as well. Preston 2, Charlton 2. In the 90th minute, Graham Alexander scored for Preston. His final game. He retires today, and Graham Alexander has equalised for Preston. Preston 2, Charlton 2. His last game at home for Preston. To the bottom of League 2, where it's going to go to the final day as well, despite what Barnet have done, Mark Webber.
Yes, Barnet live to fight another day, but travel to Burton for that fight after a classy 4-goal statement of intent against AFC Wimbledon. He's made more comebacks than a boomerang, but the love affair between Barnet and Martin Mad Dog Allen lasts for yet another week. Barnet 4, AFC Wimbledon 0.
And next to the top of League 2, Shrewsbury against Dagenham and Redbridge. Are you having a party at the new meadow, Harry Gratian?
Oh boy, are we having a party. It hurt last year, missing out by 1 point, but a headed goal by James Collins on 37 minutes confirmed promotion for Graham Turner's excellent team. 1-0 could so easily be more. At the moment, the players have just come out into the stands. They can't do a lap of honour because there are 9,000 fans stopping them, but they're enjoying it and they thoroughly deserve it. Good football inside this, you know. Well played.
Look at that, it's finished 2-2 at Deepdale as well. Preston 2, Charlton 2. Next to the Broadfield Stadium, Jonathan Ledyard's been watching Crawley Hereford. The scoreline there isn't good for Crawley, but Crewe have got a late goal at Torquay. So, Jonathan, it does keep Crawley in the automatic promotion spot.
Which is why there were celebrations in the Bruce Winfield stand away to my right, because it means that if Crawley win at Accrington next week, they are up. For Hereford, their goal difference is, I think it's 5 better, is it, than Barnet? And they need to beat Torquay at home and then hope Barnet lose at Burton. But this was a deserved 3-0 victory for Hereford, all thanks to the Crawley goalkeeper, Michel Kuipers, who could have been sent off in the first half. But luckily it wasn't for Hereford, because he gifted them 3 goals in the second half. First, a comedy exchange with fullback Dean Howlett and Joe Colbeck. Then he failed to move to cut out a pass to Delroy Facey. Thank you, Joachim Arkin. And the Frenchman added his second, a low shot which Kuipers barely moved a muscle. 3-0 Hereford.
Yeah, Hereford's goal difference 7 better than Barnet's, and Crawley will hope that Hereford do to Torquay next week what they've done to themselves this afternoon. Back into League 1, Yeovil against Chesterfield. A very despondent away end, I would imagine. Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, it's an empty away end. The Chesterfield fans have gone to drown their sorrows, I think. They've lost by 3-2, and their stay in League 1 is ending after just 1 season. Twice they went ahead, but twice they were pulled back. Andy Williams sealing the win for Yeovil with a low drive from 20 yards. The Spyrights needed to make it 4 wins on the trot, and Hope Walsall and Leyton Orient didn't win, but they couldn't pick up their part of the bargain.
Looks like all the relegation issues are going to be settled from League 1 this afternoon. Chesterfield joining Rochdale. Looks like Wycombe are going to join Rochdale. And Exeter are down as well, James Mason.
Indeed they are. The Grecians relegated to League 2 football. Carlisle 4, Exeter 1, ending 3 seasons in the 3rd tier of English football. Beaten by a Carlisle side now level on points with Stevenage in the final playoff place. 2 goals from Francois Zoko, the others from Cook and Noble for Carlisle, with Liam Sercombe's goal scant consolation for the visitors. They're down. It's ended Carlisle United 4, Exeter City 1.
Yeah, Carlisle need Sheffield United to do them a favour and beat Stevenage in the tea time game to really keep their playoff hopes alive. Brian McLaughlin at East End Park has watched. Goodness me, a home win for Dunfermline.
Yes, believe it or not, it finished Dunfermline 3, Aberdeen 0, and what a time to secure your first home league win in almost 12 months. All 3 goals coming in the second half. Joe Cardo with the first before Andy Kirk notched a double. Dunfermline now just 3 points behind second bottom Hibs, who play tomorrow, and with just 3 games left to play, they believe that their SPL survival dream certainly does still live on. At East End Park, it finished Dunfermline 3, Aberdeen 0.
This is final score. Goodness me, what an afternoon we've had. Let's get the full classified results now with Mike West.
And starting with the Barclays Premier League, Everton 4, Fulham 0. The match between Norwich City and Liverpool is an evening kick-off at 5:30. Stoke City 1, Arsenal 1. Sunderland 2, Bolton Wanderers 2. Swansea City 4, Wolverhampton Wanderers 4. West Bromwich Albion 0, Aston Villa 0. And Wigan Athletic 4, Newcastle United 0. On to the Empire Championship, Barnsley 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Birmingham City 2, Reading 0. Burnley 1, Bristol City 1. Crystal Palace 1, Cardiff City 2. Derby County 1, Peterborough United 1. Doncaster Rovers 2, Ipswich Town 3. Leeds United 1, Leicester City 2. Millwall 2, Blackpool 2. Nottingham Forest 2, Portsmouth 0. Southampton 4, Coventry City 0. Watford 2, Middlesbrough 1. And West Ham United 2, Hull City 1. In the Empire League 1, Brentford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Bury 0, Oldham Athletic 0. Carlisle United 4, Exeter City 1. Colchester United 4, Tranmere Rovers 2. Hartlepool United 2, Leyton Orient 1. Preston North End 2, Charlton Athletic 2. Rochdale 1, Milton Keynes Dons 2. Scunthorpe United 1, AFC Bournemouth 1. The match between Sheffield United and Stevenage, an evening kick-off at 5:20. Walsall 1, Huddersfield Town 1. Wycombe Wanderers 3, Notts County 4. Yeovil Town 3, Chesterfield 2. In the Empire League 2, Aldershot Town 2, Rotherham United 2. Barnet 4, AFC Wimbledon 0. Bristol Rovers 5, Accrington Stanley 1. Cheltenham Town 3, Bradford City 1. Crawley Town 0, Hereford United 3. Macclesfield Town 0, Burton Albion 2. Morecambe 2, Plymouth Argyle 2. Northampton Town 1, Gillingham 1. Oxford United 0, Southend United 2. Shrewsbury Town 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. Swindon Town 5, Port Vale 0. And Torquay United 1, Crewe Alexandra 1. On to the Blue Square Bet Premier, Alfreton Town 2, Bath City 1. Barrow 3, Newport County 1. Darlington 3, Kettering Town 1. Ebbsfleet United 2, Lincoln City 3. Fleetwood Town 0, Luton Town 2. Gateshead 3, AFC Telford United 0. Grimsby Town 0, Southport 1. Hayes and Yeading United 1, Stockport County 2. Kidderminster 0, Mansfield Town 3. Tamworth 2, Cambridge United 2. Wrexham 5, Braintree Town 1. And York City 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. Into Scotland and the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Dundee United 2, Hearts 2. Dunfermline 3, Aberdeen 0. Kilmarnock 4, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 3. And Motherwell 5, St Johnstone 1. The Irn-Bru Scottish Division 1, Ayr United 3, Dundee 2. Livingston 0, Greenock Morton 0. Partick Thistle 1, Falkirk 1. Raith Rovers 3, Queen of the South 1. And Ross County 5, Hamilton Academical 1. The Scottish Division 2, Airdrie United 2, East Fife 0. Arbroath 0, Stenhousemuir 2. Brechin City 2, Cowdenbeath 2. Forfar Athletic 4, Albion Rovers 0. And Stirling Albion 1, Dumbarton 2. The Scottish Division 3, Annan Athletic 0, Peterhead 3. Clyde 1, Alloa Athletic 1. East Stirlingshire 2, Berwick Rangers 1. Elgin City 2, Montrose 1. And Stranraer 2, Queen's Park 3. Finally, the Carling Premiership, Cliftonville 2, Portadown 3. Crusaders 2, Coleraine 1. Donegal Celtic 3, Carrick 5. Glenavon 2, Dungannon Swifts 2. Linfield 0, Glentoran 2. And Lisbon Distillery 2, Ballymena United 3.
Let's have a look at what all that does to the table, starting with the Premier League. Arsenal now 4 points clear of Newcastle following their draw at Stoke. The defeat for Alan Pardew's side means Spurs will go fourth if they beat Blackburn tomorrow. Chelsea will also look to gain ground later this weekend, while Everton have strengthened their grip on 7th place with a comfortable win. Wolves' fate was, of course, confirmed last weekend. Meanwhile, Bolton missed the chance to climb out of the relegation zone. They're level on points with QPR. Wigan's win leaves them 3 points clear of trouble, while it's looking like a nervy finish to the season for Aston Villa. Southampton ended their 7-year exile from the top flight in style, and they join champions Reading in the Premier League next season. At the playoffs are West Ham, Birmingham, Blackpool and Cardiff. At the bottom, it's goodbye to the Championship for Doncaster and for ex-Premier League sides Coventry and Portsmouth. Coventry will be playing in the 3rd tier for the first time since '64. Portsmouth for the first time since the 82-83 season. And just to confirm how the playoffs line up in the Championship, Cardiff will take on West Ham. The first leg of that semi-final, Thursday the 3rd of May. The return on Monday the 7th. Blackpool against Birmingham is Friday the 4th, with the return on Wednesday the 9th, and it all culminates in the playoff final at Wembley on Saturday the 19th of May. In League One, Sheffield Wednesday's win over Brentford piles the pressure on rivals United ahead of their kick-off with Stevenage in, around 10 minutes' time. Stevenage need the points themselves as they are currently out of the playoff places. Exeter, Chesterfield and Wycombe all relegated today, and they join Rochdale in League Two next season. Particularly cruel on Wycombe, who dramatically lost at home in injury time. Shrewsbury secured promotion to League One along with champions Swindon. The battle for the final promotion place goes to the final day. Look at that, 1 point separating Crawley and Torquay and Southend. Cheltenham guaranteed themselves a playoff place. They're likely to be joined by Crewe. And Macclesfield's 15-year stay in the Football League has come to an end. Hereford's stunning win at Crawley, though, means the battle to see who joins them in the Blue Square Premier next season is between them and Barnet on the final day of the season next Saturday. And there was little to actually be settled in the Blue Square Premier today. Luton made sure of that final playoff place ahead of Kidderminster by beating the already crowned champions Fleetwood, who ended the season with a massive 103 points. Kettering, Bath, Darlington and Hayes and Yedding have already been relegated. And Rangers and Celtic don't play until tomorrow, so attention today focused on the battle for third in the SPL. Motherwell's thumping win puts them 5 points clear of Dundee United after they could only draw with Hearts. At the bottom, Dunfermline won their first home match of the season to give their survival bid a big, big boost. Let's get the headlines from an exhausting day in the Premier League. A Kevin Davis brace earns Bolton a draw on Wearside, but they missed the chance to climb out to the bottom three. A wonder save from Shay Given earns Villa what could be a crucial point, but results elsewhere mean Alex McLeish's men are still very much in danger. They're down but not out. Already relegated Wolves hit back from 4-1 down to get a point thanks to an equaliser from Matt Jarvis. Robin van Persie nets his 35th goal of the season as the Gunners earn a draw at the Britannia. 2 more goals from Croatian hotshot Nikica Jelavic help Everton comfortably defeat Fulham. And well done to Southampton, who are back in the Premier League after a 7-year absence. They beat Coventry 4-0 today to finish second in the Championship table. So all the Premier League games you'll be able to see tonight. You won't want to miss it. Not only some of the goals, but some of the saves and some of the passes as well. Match of the day, 10:30 tonight on BBC One. Followed by a dramatic day in the Football League, not only in the Championship, but in League One and League Two as well. 11:55 tonight on BBC One. Match of the day 2 tomorrow night features Chelsea against QPR and Spurs against Blackburn. And we have a bonus match of the day for you. 10:35 Monday evening, when you will see extended highlights of the Manchester derby. The title on the line, City against United, 10:35 on BBC One. So, was it a missed opportunity for Bolton this afternoon? They could only get a point at Sunderland. Let's find out what Owen Coyle made of it. He's with Guy Mowbray.
Oh, in your first away draw of the season, that point could be very, very important.
Well, I think every point is very important, and of course it could be crucial. I'm disappointed. I felt we were actually worth all three today. Started the game really well, controlled the first 30 odd minutes, where we scored a wonderful goal, a free-flowing move, great cross from Martin Petrov, an exquisite finish from the skipper, and looked very comfortable at that point. I mean, Bednar's, I've got to say, it's a terrific pass to him, and the touch and the finish was of a high standard. But our disappointment was we had possession of the ball and gave it away cheaply in the dangerous area. That allowed Sunderland down a big lift the stadium as it does, got behind them, and it was obviously a stormy 5 minutes into half time, but came out second half and again looked very comfortable, and the boys scored a terrific free kick. I don't know if it's just went over the wall and dipped, and Adam got a hand to it, and unfortunately, it's come off the underside of the bar and we're in. But again, it'd have been easy, feeling sorry for yourself at that point. Picked ourselves up, scored a wonderful equaliser and pushed on to win the game. I think Craig Gordon's had a magnificent save late on from Klasic on the half turn, which he does ever so well. And we were pushing on, trying to get that elusive winner. It wasn't to be, but it's a terrific point. That's 4 points we've taken from 2 away games. What we must do now is go on in our 2 home games. Obviously, the game in hand we'll have on Wednesday against Tottenham Hotspur and then West Bromwich Albion at home, and capitalise on those away performances by doing that at home. And as I say, our fate or destiny, whatever you want to call it, it's in our own hands, and we've been shown, as I say, terrific form as of late.
He's describing it as a terrific point, Matt. I mean, you were critical about the second goal that Bolton conceded. We should remember they do have a game in hand.
Yeah, I thought Bogdan should have done better. James McLean was a decent free kick over the wall, but he got a good hand on it and pushed it into net. I think he should have saved it. Kevin Davis, excellent today on his return to the starting lineup. 2 good goals. The second one a header, as typical Kevin Davis goal back across the goalkeeper. But it was a battling point, and I think, if you'd have said to him you're going to get 4 points from Villa away and Sunderland away, that would have been a good return, particularly with 2 home games now to look forward to. Yeah,
they win that game in hand, Dion. They'll actually go level on points with both Wigan and Aston Villa. Their goal difference is worse, though.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I think Kevin Davis hasn't had as much time as he'd normally like in a season. But when you do play against Bolton, if he's in the side, it's going to be a more difficult game than without him. I think they've done him remarkably well. I really do. And I wish them the best. I really do.
Spurs on Wednesday. That's the game in hand.
Yeah, Spurs' form has been up and down of late. They're still challenging for the top 4, so they're going to go there trying to get the 3 points. But look, they're at home. It's in their own hands now as well. I think if they're in the bottom 3 now and looking at it, they'll be saying, well, we've still got a lot to do. But it's in their own hands.
You can look at fixtures, and you look at teams. It doesn't make any difference at this stage of the season. It doesn't matter who you're playing.
Some of the results we've seen already.
It doesn't matter who you're playing.
Wigan today beats in Newcastle as they have done 4-0.
Convincingly as well, absolutely convincingly.
That's made that last 2 minutes an utterly pointless conversation then, hasn't it? Right, let's move on, shall we? Game of the day, probably at the Liberty Stadium. Swansea 4, Wolves 4. Let's find out how Terry Connor is after that. He's with Jason Mohammed.
Well, Terry, what a game. In fact, in my final score report, I've described that as one of the Premier League games of the season.
Yeah, it was end-to-end and a real good football match. 2 teams that were committed to trying to play good football, and turned out to be a belter of a game.
You could have won it as well.
Could have won it, yeah. I probably should. I think we should have won it in the end. Although we're 3-0 down after 20 minutes. Was it 1 down after 15 seconds? So, by the end of it, we created enough and did enough to have actually won the game.
Your players showed outstanding commitment, outstanding passion, some fine finishing too. What did you say to your players at half-time, Terry?
To keep going. I thought we did enough in the first half, and as I say, it was a shocking start from our point of view. Goal down after 15-20 seconds, 2 down after 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 3-0 down after 20 minutes, and it was tough going. But to their credit, absolute credit,
they just kept plugging away, kept doing their stuff, and eventually got one back and got back into the game. And at half-time, just asked them to keep going, keep their shape, keep working from their shape, and things would happen for them, and thankfully it did.
It's a demonstration that those players put in a real shift for you. You've got the utmost respect of that dressing room.
I think they do it for themselves. They do it for themselves. They do it for the club. They do it because they want to do it. They want to play for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And as I say, the spirit, certainly after last week, and finally getting relegated, it was been a tough week, and maybe the first 5 or 6 minutes might have been a little bit of a hangover from that. But they've always wanted to play, and they've always wanted to commit to games, and that's what they did again today, and they got some reward for it today.
If that was the game of the day in finishing 4-4, do you think the performance of the day really came at Wigan and Wigan beating Newcastle?
It's got to be up there. We've seen so many goals today, Chappers and Matt, that you don't know where to go first. I think Wigan to beat Newcastle convincingly, more or less play them off the park. Moses was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. The defence of Newcastle didn't know what to do with him, and his goals were amazing.
I think that game today summed Wolves' season up. Their best players are their offensive players. Jarvis, Fletcher, Doyle. Defensively, they've struggled, and today was a real example of their season.
It has been an astonishing afternoon of football. Whether you've been at Liberty Stadium or the DW Stadium, there have been goals wherever you look. You can have your say on 6:06 tonight, on air at 6:06 this evening. Robbie Savage will be alongside me. Listen to 5 Live or go via the BBC Sport website, bbc.co.uk/sport. Thank you very much to Matt and to Dion. We'll have more on the red button. We'll hear from Alex McLeish after Villa's point at West Brom, and hopefully Roberto Martinez as well. Press your red button now. Bye-bye.